I spent $2,500 on Tiago Forte's Second Brain course. I followed every step religiously. I built dozens of great notes. 3 months later, my business crashed from 5-figure per month to 0. Now, I didn't make $100K more in revenue, but I built something more sustainable. And here is the truth. I was building a library, but never writing books. Today, I will show you what I replaced it with and why my knowledge finally works. Listen, I wasn't disorganized before Second Brain. I captured insights well. I could find my old notes easily, but when Build a Second Brain appeared, it felt revolutionary. The holy grail for learning obsessed entrepreneurs and professionals. Tiago's simplicity and humility drew me in. I believed there was a secret sauce, the real thing that would boost my productivity. So I invested and went all in. I attended every live session, took visual notes, completed every exercise, rewatched unclear parts. I built this beautiful system in Notion. Paira framework everywhere, projects, areas, resources, archives, everything perfectly categorized. And here is where it gets addictive. Every time I captured insights, I got dopamine hits. Organized new articles, dopamine. Refined folder structures, more dopamine. You know that feeling? You spend 2 hours organizing notes, creating elegant dashboards, building sophisticated systems. You feel incredibly productive. You feel like you are winning. You are convinced you are getting ahead. But here is what opened my eyes. I flew back from an expensive seminar, successful entrepreneurs paid thousands to attend, and I noticed something that bothered me. Half these weren't taking any notes. Here I was with my notebook out, pen ready, capturing every insight, every framework, every strategy mentioned. I was actually the model student. And these successful guys, they were just sitting here, not capturing anything. I actually despised them for this. I thought they were lazy. How will you remember this? How will you implement these strategies if you don't take notes? But then the uncomfortable truth hit me. We were getting the same results. They weren't using their notes because they didn't have any. I wasn't using my notes either, despite having hundreds of them. Same outcome with different path. My note-taking obsession was completely pointless. Over 2 years, I accumulated 300 plus notes. Business strategies, marketing frameworks, productivity systems, learning methods, and everything beautifully organized, easily searchable, perfectly structured. But something started bothering me. I put more effort into my system, but I wasn't seeing business results. I spent hours each month maintaining notes, organizing content, refining my second brain. And the system grew bigger, but my business impact didn't. Actually, this is exactly the 70% problem. 70% of what we learn is pure waste. And by the way, I created something called the Knowledge Activator that shows exactly how to fix this. It's free and links down below. But let me get back to the story. The disconnect was subtle first between the effort I was putting in and the results I was getting out. I told myself I was building foundations, investing in future productivity. But gradually the gap became more and more obvious. Effort was increasing, results stayed flat. Here is the question that haunted me. Was I actually using my notes? The uncomfortable answer was becoming clear. I was building something beautiful, but completely useless. 3 months later, after finishing Building a Second Brain, reality hit hard. My business collapsed from 5-figure monthly to 0. And here is what made it devastating. I had incredible knowledge stored away, perfectly organized, completely useless when I needed it. So let me paint the exact picture. I needed to create a new product and build a marketing campaign around it. This wasn't theoretical. This was survival mode. I'm sitting on my desk, panic setting on, knowing I had to move fast. I opened my beautiful second brain on Notion. I had notes from 5K mastermind, marketing insights from multiple courses, copywriting frameworks, positioning strategies. Everything I needed was supposedly there. But here is what actually happened. I spent hours piecing together fragments. These notes mentioned positioning, but what was the full context around it? This highlight shows a framework, but what were the actual steps? And the frustration was overwhelming. I had captured the what, but lost the how. I had isolated insights, but no coherent path forward. After 3 hours searching my perfect notes, you know what I did? I opened YouTube, searched for something like create digital product or stuff like that. So the thing is that I preferred starting from scratch, learning from almost random creators rather than using thousands of euros worth of knowledge sitting in my second brain. That moment was my wake-up call. I wasn't building a second brain. I was building a digital graveyard. Beautiful, well-organized, completely useless when needed. Here is a brutal truth I faced. The productivity was completely fake. I felt busy capturing and organizing, but I wasn't producing anything new. It's like building an incredible library while never writing a single book. I realized I confused storage with execution. Build a second brain turned me into a knowledge collector, not a knowledge executor. I was accumulating insights like trophies, but when execution time came, they were completely inaccessible. The system supposed to boost productivity actually killed my productivity. Why? Because I spent cognitive energy on organization instead of implementation. I perfected my filling system while my business was dying. And here is what really stung. Those entrepreneurs not making notes, they probably got better results than me. They focused on understanding and implementing, not capturing and organizing. So I had to felt an uncomfortable question. What if the secret to using knowledge isn't better storage, but better execution? What if the problem isn't information organization, but knowledge activation? The wake-up call was clear. Storage doesn't equal execution. Organization doesn't equal implementation. Beautiful systems doesn't equal business results. I needed a completely different approach. Something designed for execution, not storage. Something built for creating, not collecting. That's when everything changed. So I had to solve this problem. My background is coaching. I helped 2,000 plus university students ace their exams with efficient methods. But here is what I discovered. Student learning and business learning are different games. Students memorize for marks and exams. Professionals execute for results. Method that gets you A+ grades don't build profitable businesses. And I was applying student strategies to business challenges. Completely wrong approach. And that's how I developed CPA framework. Consume, process, apply. Most people spend 90% consuming, reading books, watching videos, attending seminars, taking courses, but transformation happens in the two other phases, process and apply. Here is a key insight. Knowledge isn't power until processed and applied. Raw information is like crude oil, valuable but useless until refined into something executable and usable. The process phase creates coherent understanding. I take scattered insights, create what I call a knowledge map, like a visual screenshot of everything I know about this topic, all strategies and frameworks connected, organized in one comprehensive view. Then comes the game changer, the apply phase. This isn't just try to implement something. This converts processed knowledge into knowledge executables, tools that make expertise usable instantly without thinking, remembering, or searching. I tested this first with YouTube. Instead of scattered notes about video strategy, I created comprehensive knowledge map. everything I knew about YouTube success. I followed the Ali Abdal part-time YouTuber Academy. Then I converted that into knowledge executable, my killer video GPT. This wasn't just another AI tool or a generic and random prompt. It contained everything I had learned: hooks, thumbnails, content, structure, algorithm principles, viewer psychology, retention strategies, everything systematized. The result: my first video hit 100,000 views. Third video reached 500,000 views. Of course, it's not perfect. We can always improve things, and I didn't become Ali Abdal overnight. But here is what was revolutionary for me. I wasn't starting from scratch anymore. All YouTube knowledge was available at a touch of a button. No more watching YouTube hooks tutorials when I already knew the answer. No more piecing together fragmented notes when I needed to create content. Everything systematized into usable assets. And this is where knowledge compounds. Instead of forgetting what I learned and having to search for it, every skill becomes a permanent tool. Once YouTube worked, I applied CPA everywhere in different areas of my business. First example, copywriting. I invested in cheap 30 for 30 cohort and Copy That challenge, two comprehensive, great course about writing and copywriting. Old me would have taken beautiful notes, highlighted key passages, maybe created summary documents, but instead I processed everything into a knowledge map once again. Then built knowledge executables. Now I have my writing engine. When I need a LinkedIn post, email campaigns, or even a website copy, I don't stare at blank pages. I input my topic, my audience. It generates high quality copy instantly, using old frameworks I learned, but applied systematically. And the difference for me is dramatic. What used to take 3 hours now takes 30 minutes. Writing, editing, second guessing, all compressed into focused execution. And quality is constantly higher because it's based on proven frameworks I learned, not whatever I remember today. Also, product creation used to take weeks structuring courses and modules. Now my module crafter helps me doing it in 1 hour. No more creative blocks or what should I post? My YouTube strategist handles everything instantly. Like having years of experience and knowledge available instantly. But here is what's really powerful. These aren't generic tools. They are built from my specific and personal knowledge and filtered through my business philosophy. They only include concepts I trust and have seen work. It's like instead of holding knowledge in my head, I delegate it to executable tools and transfer expertise from internal memory to external systems. It's like having expert workers available. They act exactly as you would based on what you learned, and each specialized in different business areas. And the compound effect is incredible. Instead of learning and gradually forgetting, every skill becomes permanent asset. I'm not just maintaining expertise, I'm building on it systematically. This is knowledge compounding in action. Now, let me be clear about something. I don't think second brain is bad. It's actually good for the wrong problem. Here is the fundamental difference. Second brain solves information overload. My approach solves knowledge overload. These are completely different challenges. Information overload affects more people. Too many random articles, tweets, newsletters, podcasts, snippets, cluttering your mind. You are drowning in fragmented content from dozens of sources. You need capture and organization. Knowledge overload affects ambitious professionals, too much high-value learning from courses, coaching, seminars, masterminds that you can't systematically implement. You are not drowning in random content. You are drowning in expensive education that isn't creating results. And here is the key difference, the fundamental difference. Second Brain is an organization system. CPA is a learning system. These are completely different purposes. Organization versus learning. Storage versus execution. This changes everything. And last difference, Second Brain helps you find knowledge when needed. CPA helps you use knowledge when needed. With a Second Brain, when you need marketing campaigns, you search Second Brain for relevant notes, you find them, gather them in a project, read through highlights, and try to piece together strategy. With CPA, when you need marketing campaigns, you access your marketing executable. Launch it, start creating immediately. No searching, no piecing together, no cognitive overhead. Second Brain asks, how can I organize this information so I can find it later? CPA asks, how can I process this knowledge so I can execute immediately? The mindset shift is profound. Second Brain treats you as information manager. CPA treats you as a knowledge executor. But here is what I still use from Second Brain. Para is excellent for general organization. I still organize files and documents using this structure. Projects, areas, resources, archives. It's a solid organizational framework, but I don't use it for learning anymore. I don't use code method, capture, organize, distill, express, because it optimizes for wrong outcome for me. It's designed to help you express information and produce something often creative, not execute knowledge. Instead, I use learning subject. When learning something new, all resources go into one subject, where I process them together, create a knowledge map, build knowledge executables. The results speak for themselves. With Second Brain, I felt productive, but saw limited business impact. With CPA, I feel less busy, but see dramatic business results and sustainability. Second Brain helped me become better information manager. CPA helped me become better knowledge applier. If you are struggling with random information chaos, mails, articles, social media, scattered notes, and looking for creating something creative, Build a Second Brain might be perfect. But if you are investing serious money in high value learning experiences and struggling to implement them systematically, you need a system designed for knowledge materials, not information management. Now, my learning compounds instead of evaporating. Every course I take, every book I read, every seminar I attend becomes permanent business asset and not temporary inspiration. And here's the thing, most knowledge management systems make you feel productive while consuming content. With my approach, I try modestly to actually be productive while executing solutions. It's a difference between building libraries and publishing books. If you are spending thousands in learning but struggling to implement consistently, you don't need better organization. You need better execution.